The 1803 Louisiana Purchase, arguably the most important event in 19th century American history anyway, more than double the size of the United States for a few cents an acre when President Thomas Jefferson bought the entire western watershed of the Mississippi River from the Emperor Napoleon. Now, historians can tell us all about our end of the deal. Why did the president send James Monroe to join U.S. Minister Robert Livingston in an attempt to purchase the city of New Orleans from Napoleon for $10 million? We know all about that. That's all in the record. What's not so easy to understand is why did Napoleon suddenly decide to sell not the city, but the entire territory to the Americans for, again, a few cents an acre, thus predicting that the United States would become not only the transcontinental nation astride the continent, but also perhaps the wealthiest nation in the history of the world. Well, the mystery is a big one, because Napoleon, even after his final defeat at Waterloo in 1815, was not forthcoming about what exactly was going through his mind. Some historians have said, well, he needed money. He was about to go to war with England again, and he needed money, and he knew we had it. He knew that we wouldn't want him to hold that territory to our west. Others have said, look, he just took it from Spain in the first place to irritate the British and to thwart their plans to dominate the western part of North America. Well, nobody doubts that all of that is true, but here's something all historians will agree upon, and that is that at the same time Monroe and Livingston were in Paris trying to open negotiations with Napoleon about purchasing the port city of New Orleans, Napoleon received news that his brother-in-law, General Leclerc, and more than two-thirds of his army had perished trying to put down a slave revolt on the island of Santo Domingo, or San Domingue, the nation of Haiti today. This charismatic, flashy, brilliant general by the name of Toussaint Louverture had led the slave population in an open rebellion against French authority. Now, it wasn't the slaves that wiped out Leclerc and his army. It was a mosquito carrying yellow fever that did the job. And so historians don't doubt that when Napoleon learned of this debacle that had fallen upon his army in that sugar-rich region, he decided, well, maybe I don't need Louisiana after all. I'd wanted it in the first place as a granary to feed my sugar-producing islands. Well, they're gone. And besides, I can wash my hands of this whole idea of reestablishing the French Empire, at least for the time being. And so, suddenly, Foreign Minister Talleyrand came to the Americans and said, we'll sell you the whole thing for $18 million and change. So there can be little doubt, in fact, there can be no doubt, that disease, in this case yellow fever, made the United States a much bigger country than it might have been.